God cares about your desires. In fact, He placed them there. Your desires lie very deep within your heart, and a good test to see your true desires is to ask yourself, if I were to die today, what would I wish I would have done? And it's very obvious in our bodies when we are close to death what our desires are. That's when they come out. Like when I woke up from my heart surgery a few years ago, I requested that my mom play Gregorian chant for me, and that was very interesting because I was as close to death, I guess, as I was ever, because of the anesthetic. It's very, very hard on your body. It's very numbing. And a lot of people die during surgery because of anesthesia. And the desire of my heart was to experience the beauty of Gregorian chant. And there's no music more beautiful than Gregorian chant. It's the sound of heaven. And a good test to see what your true desires are is, if I were to die today, what would I wish I would have done? And usually people on their deathbed, they just long for more time spent with their family. And it's never an earthly, money oriented wish. It's always something deeper. So God is not interested in your worldly, fear-based desires. Like, I am afraid of being poor and destitute, so I desire a big house and a lot of money. Like, those desires, those aren't your true desires. Those are your fear-based desires. Holy desire is a virtue that you have. Like, you have in your soul a deep desire to know God. And that is what God wants for you. We're created to know and love and serve Him. And if you really, really dig deep, you'll find that your desire is to be united with God. Do you ever long to be home when you're already home? Like, do you ever have that feeling of like, I just want to go home, and you are home, or you're wherever, and you just feel like you have a longing to be somewhere that you don't know, that like a place that doesn't exist except in your imagination. Like, those are your God-given holy desires, and those are good. God wants that for you, and He wants to be united to you, and He wants to fulfill those desires that you have. And He's even interested in your little desires. Like, I heard a story of a priest who was praying to God for a new Bible because his was like torn up. And I could be butchering the story, but it doesn't matter. And he was like asking God, please give me a new Bible. And I think he wanted a specific Bible. And then a lady called him the next day or something and was like, God told me that I needed to buy you what you wanted. So like, what do you want? And he was like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding, God? And there was one time I was praying in front of the tabernacle at church, and I was really, really, really thirsty. And I was like, I think I'm just going to go because I'm like super thirsty right now. I'll pray later. Like, I'm going to leave. So I got up to leave, and there was an unopened water bottle right in front of me next to the tabernacle. And that was totally God providing for a desire that I had. And he desired for me to pray with Him in front of the tabernacle. So He saw my need and gave me my desire. And I drank the whole water bottle, and I stayed and prayed. So God cares for each and every desire that you have. You have good desires. You also have evil fleshly desires. So if you weed those out, dig deep, weed out the fears, the flesh, the devil, all of the nonsense, and really, really reflect deeply and ask yourself, if I were to die today, what would I desire? And the good thing is, it's in your power to act in accordance with your desires. Like, if you desire more time with your family, you can clear your schedule and make more time with your family. Like, it's within your control. And God gave us free will as a gift, and he made us to be co-creators with him, and he wants us to create. If you have a desire to create, he wants that for you. He wants you to create something beautiful for him, and not for money necessarily, but for just to please him. Like, make something to please God. Don't make something to attain money because you're afraid of being poor. So that's all I have today. Find your desires, pray and meditate, and write it down and act in accordance with it.